You've come to me with a question. A question that's been burning inside you for as long as you can remember. But can you bring yourself to ask that question?
What is the Matrix? Like, is it like a 5 out of 5, or are we talking like a 2 out of 5? So bad it's good, or like what exactly are we working with here?
If you really want to go through with this, then you must make a choice. Eat the blue pill, walk right out that door, look up some reviews, believe whatever you want to believe. Eat the red pill, and stare right into the heart of the Matrix. And you will have to decide for yourself what is. What the hell?
What were you talking about again?
What the Bro, what the You ruined my shit! Like, what am I supposed to do with this? What
Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality of the best hair, and it's time to take a trip back to 1999. The Dreamcast was fresh and new. Most of the world's population honestly believed we were all about to die because the year's number was about to start with a 2. Dracula was in everything, and The Matrix hit theaters. Yeah, a good 22 years ago, which might make you wonder exactly why I'm deciding to review it now of all times. Well, for a refresher, they're making a 4th one soon, so it's nice and relevant. And while the movie certainly left its mark on cinema, some remaining tropes more annoying than others, the original film still stands as an example of a feat of cinema. Cutting-edge visual effects for the time, combined with something even more frightening to investors: heavy philosophical themes. One of those times when the science fiction setting is confusing as hell, and we actually take the time to acknowledge that the characters might also be a little bit confused about it. So, what is The Matrix? It's a happy tale of a little office worker who has a second gig doing some illicit hacking. However, he soon discovers there is more to the world than meets the eye. The Matrix. And wouldn't you know it, have to save the world now. Human race depends on it and all that jazz. Along with some adequate technological flair. So, let's take a look at The Matrix, because nobody can be told what The Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. We open up to some lovely hacking animation while a voiceover conversation talks about the One, and Morpheus, and other things that don't really seem important until you watch the movie a second time. And we jump to the events at hand. The police have surrounded a wanted hacker by the name of Trinity, played by Carrie-Anne Moss. But they weren't supposed to do that. There were some high-ranking agents that told them to wait for their arrival. That was to make sure the cops didn't get hurt.
They're bringing her down now.
No, Lieutenant, your men are already dead.
Opening up right away with what would be known as bullet time. Cutting-edge visual effects to slow-mo zoom around everything, and wah! It was synonymous with The Matrix, even though, honestly, it wasn't actually used all that many times in the movie. All the movies inspired by this one, though, oh boy! Thus, she kicks each and every one of their asses in unbelievable style. Clues are in that the line was traced, though, and there are agents after her, so she must run! Already we can see the beautiful action cinematography, which shouldn't be too surprising as the movie was storyboarded by comic book artists. Though, while she can leap insane distances with ease, so can the agents. So she dives across the street, through a window, and runs some more, eventually finding a payphone. New York traffic strikes again. But wait! These were agents, and she did in fact escape. No bother, it's time to move on to the person we're trying to track down in the first place. A lovely hacker by the name of Neo, played by Keanu Reeves.
What?
Though they did originally intend for this role to go to Will Smith, and allegedly he turned it down so he could instead do Wild Wild West. That man has quite a lot of experience dealing with regret. The serious instant messenger instructs Neo to follow the white rabbit, right before a client shows up for some of that illicit data he has for sale. As in this world, hackers are effectively drug dealers, I guess. Speaking of drugs, his client says he needs to take a load off. He's too tense. He pays it no mind at first, but then...
Yeah. Sure. I'll go.
Man, the hacker on the other end of that line really lucked out that that woman happened to show her shoulder at that point. I mean, it would have been a lot easier if they had just told Neo, go to the fucking club. But now in this setting, I'm even more confused as to whether or not this song is about a car or Dracula dressed like a drag queen. While sitting in the corner thinking they don't know I'm a master hacker, someone comes up who in fact does know that. Trinity! Small world, Neo knows her too, except he thought she was a he. Never mind the reverse catfishing, Trinity has a dire warning. He is in danger. They are looking for him. Much like Neo is looking for someone else. And an answer to the question, what is the Matrix?
The answer is out there, Neo. It's looking for you.
Neo! How where the hell did that kid go? I was about to tell him what the hell the Matrix was. Neo! No time for that now. Neo is late for work, which means his boss takes some extra time to chew his ass out for this.
You have a problem with authority, Mr. Anderson. You believe that you are special, that somehow the rules do not apply to you.
That pretty much just describes everyone in 2021. Well, yeah, me too. I've got the best hair and all that. So keep your head down, keep your mouth shut, and go to your cubicle to think about what you've done. However, before long, Mr. Anderson receives a package. A phone. That rings! Who could it be?
Morpheus.
Yes, I've been looking for you, Neo.
I've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty. Rather, he's here to warn him about those handy-dandy agents who are out to get him. And in order to avoid them, he must do exactly what Morpheus says. Stay low and run as fast as he can to the end of the hall. Enter an empty office, climb out the window, and then around the ladder that leads to the roof. Voorhees. So, naturally, he just says, fuck it, and goes with the agents. They seem hospitable enough. Agent Smith, played by Hugo Weaving, explains that, yeah, he's got a hell of a rap sheet as dark web surfing, government website hacking, MP3 sharing menace. But that's all water under the bridge, so long as he agrees to help them track down and take down Morpheus, infamous internet terrorist. Neo's like, nope, I have rights. So they're like, yeah, no you don't. Let's magically cause your mouth to fuse shut before we tear your shirt off and get a squiggly little robot to burrow into your belly button. But it was all just a dream. Man, these work dreams are getting weird. But what's this? A wake-up call from Morpheus. Says the agents probably would have killed Neo had they realized how important he really is. So we got a little rendezvous for you. Hop in the car with Trinity, then...
What the hell is this?
It's necessary, Neo.
Well, we just told you what was going on. You'd probably go along with it, and that's kind of boring to watch. So we need to make things as confusing and unnecessarily dangerous as possible in order to keep the audience guessing. Guessing what the fuck is going on, but guessing. And it nearly gets Neo to say, fuck it and leave. But Trinity stops him like, yeah, refusing to call is great and all, but we really don't have time for that. There's way too much shit to cram into this movie, so let's get this over with. First things first, we have a giant damn ultrasound lightning gun we gotta pull out so we can zap the bug out of your belly.
Jesus Christ, that thing's real!
No, so it wasn't all just a dream. It's just easier to start the next scene with him waking up in bed than actually figuring out how the hell he got there. Now that's over with, Neo can join the group to meet up in a secluded area with none other than Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne. Still kind of pussyfooting around exactly what this Matrix thing is or not. We gotta ask philosophical questions for a while, like, hey, Neo, y'all believe in fate or what?
No,
Why not?
because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean.
Really?
Yeah, man, well, whatever, man. What was your childhood like?
But yeah, we kind of gotta get on the subject of the Matrix at some point, so Morpheus presents Neo with a choice. The red and blue pills, a symbol that has burned itself into Western culture seemingly more and more as time goes on. In the movie, it's pretty straightforward. Want to know about the Matrix? Red, but there's no turning back. You don't? Blue. Now get the hell out of here. But in culture, it means a whole lot of things to a whole lot of different people, and there's no real set meaning, but the general consensus is about the same. If you just kind of accept the mainstream information out there and don't question it, just go with the flow, path of least resistance, that's a blue pill right there. But say you happen to go peeking around some places you weren't necessarily were supposed to, and you found something that made you question some stuff, and that led to more questions, and before long you found out things weren't exactly as you were led to believe they were, and well, with that knowledge, there is no turning back now, is there? It's a hell of a red pill right there. We still got like 100 minutes of movie left to go, though, so Neo pops the red pill and we get to business. Seems said pill was part of a program they put together to track his location. Also, while we're on the subject of white rabbits, rabbit holes, and Alice in Wonderland, why not finish it off by having Neo go through the looking glass before being covered in it like the most awesome Doral cosplay ever? But they do get a lock, and... Ooh. I guess I gotta. But it was all just a dream! And now that he's awake, a floaty robot grabs him for a closer look. I guess this one's no good. Let's pop off all his cables and flush him down the drain. That way, the good guys can scoop him up with a big metal claw. That's right, life is just one big capsule toy machine.
Welcome to the real world.
Which is noticeably sharper with less film grain. I'm gonna have to go ahead and assume that was intentional because I honestly didn't notice until I got this movie in 4K. So this is why no one can be told what the Matrix is, one has to see it for themselves, because overwhelming confusion and terror is so much easier than figuring out how to say virtual reality where you're actually floating in a pod. Not that Neo's doing much walking around just yet, they just have to build his body up first.
Why my eyes, sir?
You've never used them before.
Well, technically he's never used any part of his body before, but I guess that would be even more awkward to just have everyone standing around looking at Neo as he's screaming and flailing in pain. Once he's up in working order, though, Morpheus does get around to trying to exposit the lore for him. Surprise! It's not 1999. We're actually about 200 years into the future, give or take. All us super hackers actually live out here in this hovercraft and hack into the Matrix that way, but it still doesn't quite explain what the Matrix is, though, so it's time to jack back in. Not into the Matrix itself, but their own little virtual world, the construct, which Neo is also having a hard time believing isn't real.
If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Oh, fucking A, I can't wait for the Oculus Quest 3. But yeah, about the Matrix, well, first of all, gotta introduce him to the modern world, and what a hellscape it is. Seems in this universe it was around now that we invented something quite special.
We gave birth to AI.
AI. You mean artificial intelligence?
No, that's just marketing gobbledygook. Oh, this program is AI. Oh, this game console reconstructs graphics with AI. YouTube's algorithm that is constantly fucking with people is AI. I swear if calculators were invented today, people would say it does math with AI. What Morpheus is talking about here is more akin to the singularity, as this AI began to self-replicate and improve, but after that, human history, there just weren't as many humans bothering to write it down anymore. They were at war with the machines. Not sure why, but mankind decided, fuck it, they rely on solar energy, let's just blacken the sky, effectively destroying all life on Earth. But hey, we took care of that machine consciousness problem. Or did we? Robots need a source of energy, and hey, humans just so happen to be warm-blooded creatures. Our mitochondria generates all kinds of energy for us to use, or for something else to use if they package it right.
I don't believe it. It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo. I just said it would be the truth.
Stop!
Well, yeah, but it is a pretty fucking bleak truth, and we all know the first stage of grief is denial. Neo flails about, rejecting the reality that has been presented to him. Only problem is, well, continuing to exist in that cold metal hovercraft, and it makes it difficult to hold on to the idea that Morpheus is lying. Though Morpheus isn't completely remorseless about this. He says they have a rule against waking people up after a certain age, an age Neo is well beyond because it oftentimes doesn't go very well.
I've seen it before, and I'm sorry. I did what I did because I had to.
You kinda are the protagonist here. Can't just be like, oh, well, he's too old, guess that's it. Machines win, roll credits. But what's this? Wouldn't you know it? Back when The Matrix 1.0 was out, there just so happened to be a human in there who could do miracles and shit, and it was prophesized after his death another would come, Jesus style, and be the chosen one to save all of humanity. Morpheus thinks. That's probably Neo, so let's pull him out and hope for the best. Not without effort, though, they gotta train him to be an action star. So their operator, Tank, played by Marcus Chong, uses copy-paste to upload ass tons of martial arts directly into Neo's brains. Oh, what's the point of knowing Kung Fu if you're not gonna use it? So Morpheus decides to jump into a little sparring program with him, where they do battle, kicking and punching and flying and flailing.
Morpheus is fighting Neo.
Goddamn, I've never seen anyone so excited to go watch esports. This isn't just a mindless action scene, though, as Morpheus takes the time to explain the very concept of combat in the Matrix, how it's quite literally mind over matter.
You think that's air you're breathing now?
If you do manage to defeat me, was my ass really kicked? As they go back and forth, Neo does eventually begin to push through his limitations, actually almost striking Morpheus. With that, old Morphe decides to do a big test of his mind. Simple little trial here. He's got to hop over from point A to point B. Remember, The Matrix is effectively a video game. Just channel your inner Super Mario. Oh, Chris Pratt! Well, Morpheus may just be fucking with him, as no one has ever done the jump on the first try, and indeed, neither does Neo. But it does serve to teach him another concept about the Matrix, as he comes out of it a bit bloodied.
I thought it wasn't real.
Your mind makes it real.
There's no real need to dig up an explanation for that one, Morpheus. I'm pretty sure Neo's familiar with the trope, you die in the game, you die for real. But we do kind of gotta explain more about exactly what their role is in the Matrix. They hack in from outside, but these poor souls they're trying to save firmly believe that they are in the real world, and most would rather fight than see the truth. Even more, as any one of them may be hijacked by an agent! Little programs that keep the ship running. Also, likely why you literally can't just tell someone what the Matrix is. They'd probably just turn into an agent right then and there. But as inhumanly strong as they are, Neo should be able to handle them.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
Well, it's not really that impressive. I can dodge bullets. If someone just throws them at me. We need to establish some real-world lore while we're at it, though. So hey, emergency, we gotta shut down this operation real quick, as there are hunters on the prowl. Thus, they have to stealthily hide away and turn everything off, spare their last-ditch weapon, EMP.
Electromagnetic pulse. Disables any electrical system in the blast radius. It's the only weapon we have against the machines.
Oh, it's certainly effective. I think it's a bit of a stretch to say it's your only weapon against the machines. Have you tried sugar in the gas tank? Fortunately, they don't have to use it this time, as they have managed to remain undetected for the time being. That way we can get some character building out of the way, as Neo has a little heart-to-heart with Cypher, played by Joe Pantoliano.
Why, oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
Yeah, that other time that Morpheus woke someone up a little too late, and they reacted badly to it? Probably this guy. As Cypher really doesn't like the life he has today, true or not. So much so that we see him cutting a deal with the agents behind everyone's back. Cypher is so fed up with this red pill, blue pill, white pill, black pill bullshit that he is willing to give the machines whatever they want, so long as they wipe his memory clean and plug him back in. They want the codes to Zion, the last human city, but of course Cypher doesn't know them.
I can get you the man who does.
Morpheus.
Yes, Agent Smith, that is the man. God, it's like talking to a chatbot. Now it's time to get the plot moving, though, so Morpheus orders Dozer to get the ship in position so they can jack in and bring Neo to the Oracle. And by they, I do mean every last one of them. Not sure why they all need to make the jump, but it sure is convenient to the plot, as Cypher makes a secret call. But never mind that for now. It's time to introduce the Oracle, played by Gloria Foster. She makes a good first impression, clearly knowing everything Neo is going to do within the next 20 seconds or so, and speaking in double meanings. But when it comes to his little special powers Morpheus is so sure he possesses...
Sorry, kid. You got the gift. But it looks like you're waiting for something.
And for some reason in this universe, you got the gift roughly translates to, fuck you, you're not special, get the hell out of here. Moving on, she says maybe he's waiting for another life, but the big problem is that Morpheus does believe that Neo is the one and will sacrifice himself to those ends. But if Morpheus goes, then the entire resistance is pretty much fucked. Oh well, have a nice day. I just gotta make sure no harm befalls Morpheus, right? Except for that little trap Cypher has for them. Neo spots some deja vu, and that is a glitch in the Matrix. They cut off their exits, and the authorities swarm in, gunning down Mouse, played by Matt Doran, before they can escape. The rest of them slip into the walls, but that's nothing an agent can't handle, tearing through the tile to grab at Neo. But what's this? Morpheus will not allow that to happen, doing battle with the agent, while giving the rest of them a chance to escape with Neo. and Cypher the chance to escape on his own, of course, making it to an exit long before the rest of them. Therefore, he grabs this handy-dandy super techno lightning gun and blasts Tank before frying the hell out of Dozer, played by Anthony Ray Parker. This leaves Cypher to pick up the call and give his lovely villain rant.
If you would have told us the truth, we would have told you to shove that red pill right up your ass.
That is not true, Cypher. He set us free.
And there's a reason they say ignorance is bliss. Reality fucking sucks. No bother, the villain rant's winding down, so it's time to move on to the wanton murder. First to go is APOC, played by Julian Arahanga, followed shortly by Switch, played by Belinda McClory. Now he's getting a little overconfident, though, slaughtered his way through most of the ship, so why not see what happens when he moves in to pull the plug on Neo?
I don't believe it.
Believe it or not, you piece of shit, you're still gonna burn.
Ooh, plot armor strikes again. Cypher, you should have known the characters have a way of just surviving anything as long as they're just out of frame. So hey, Tank's not dead. But, well, don't expect anyone else to get back up from that massacre. The only remaining survivors are Tank, Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus, but lest we forget, Morpheus didn't get to an exit. He got captured. Seems the agents are doing a little truth serum treatment in the hopes of getting those codes to the Zion mainframe. Oh, that would mean the end of all free humans left on the planet, so it's best to just pull the plug and kill them before that happens.
I don't believe this is happening.
Neil, this has to be done.
Does it? I don't know. This can't be just coincidence. It can't be.
What are you talking about?
That Oracle lady? Let's just say she spoiled the fuck out of the movie for me. Thus, Neo knows what he must do. They cannot kill Morpheus. He must go in and save him, because he is not the one, just a dude. But Morpheus is important. Trinity isn't about to let him go in alone, though, and thus the two of them get ready for one of the most kick-ass Act 3s in cinematic history. Getting, say it with me, lots of guns, and heading straight into the lion's den, setting off the metal detector in the process.
Would you please remove any metallic items you're carrying? Keys, loose change?
Holy shit!
Well, fun fact, this scene in particular, well, this has nothing to do with the movie or how it was made, but, well, when I was younger, me and my brother had this little thing. Every single time we would upgrade our entertainment system, the TV, the speakers, the format we played movies in, this scene is what we would use to test it. What with the absolute ass ton of miscellaneous enemy troops versus the two main characters, armed not just with fuck tons of weapons, but slow-mo superpowers and martial arts out the ass. The bullets fly, the tires explode, and the body count rises. In the meantime...
What were you doing?
Moving on. The agents are suspecting the human resistance is attempting to save Morpheus, so soon after we get another iconic scene. The agent dodges Neo's gunfire, Neo dodges back, and Trinity blows their damn head off. Still not getting anywhere without that helicopter, so Tank loads Microsoft Flight Simulator into Trinity's brain parts, allowing her to swoop in, and Neo to light the place up, firing the minigun wildly into the room housing the agents. And Morpheus, well, let's just assume Neo has a damn careful shot with the thing. Thus, they save Morpheus. But the chopper is shot, and they must ditch it. Morpheus dropping onto the rooftop, Neo following suit, and then utilizing the harness to save Trinity in the nick of time. Obviously, such heroics make it seem like Neo is the one, but he intends to set the record straight on that.
The Oracle. She told me
She told you exactly what you needed to hear. That's all.
I don't know, though. Was all that teasing and judging me really necessary? Point is, they saved Morpheus and can escape the agents in secret. Except there happens to be a homeless man in the subway who witnessed that peek behind the veil and transforms into an agent, destroying the escape route before Neo has a chance to get out. But what's this? Neo isn't running. We've got a climax to have, and by God, it's going to be an action climax! Neo beats the crap out of Agent Smith as they fight back and forth, and Smith almost gets Neo crushed by a train, but one backflip later, and it is he who is crushed. Except, of course, he's an agent that just hot bodies like nothing, so he must run! Better hurry, though, because the machines are onto the hovercraft, and Neo can only run so fast. Before long, they make it to the ship and begin to tear up the hull. But the heroes refuse to use the EMP until Neo is out safely. Besides, the phone's right around the corner. with the agent and the gun and yeah. So Neo's fucking dead. Should mean they can just pop the EMP now, but not yet. Trinity has something to say. Seems the Oracle told her something before. Something about falling in love with a dead guy and how he'd be the one and shit. So there's a little reverse Sleeping Beauty kiss. And wow, look at that. Neo has returned from the dead thanks to the power of necromancy. And yes, he is indeed the one. Able to stop bullets in midair, block any attack by Agent Smith with Spider-Man-like precision, and most importantly, jump inside the agent and kill him that way.
Fatality.
Agent Smith? More like Agent... But, oh yeah, laser mouth machines attacking everywhere. Gotta get the hell out of here just in the nick of time. Therefore, happy ending! Neo is alive. Neo is the one. And most importantly of all, we end on sequel bait. Very vague, kinda don't know where this is going, but boy oh boy, it's gonna be something now, isn't it? Toodles! Which, as we know, culminated in quite a few sequels, which weren't exactly planned at the time this movie was being made. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't have needed such a mountain of supplemental material to explain them. But, anyway, that was The Matrix. And it's pretty easy to see why it had such a huge cultural impact. Simply put, the movie's still damn good to this day. That tends to be what happens when you combine philosophical topics worth talking about on a deeper level, questions that don't necessarily need answering but do leave room to theorize, and of course balls-to-the-wall action that just about anybody can appreciate for spectacle alone. All that by itself is great, but The Matrix also isn't a slouch in any aspect of the presentation, from the cinematography having a very sharp graphic novel style to the pacing. Getting into it, I obviously already knew what was coming, but I was trying to think about the movie as it presents information for a new viewer, and it actually does a decent job of trickling bits and pieces here and there, never really revealing the whole truth until we are well into the real world. I mean, there's plenty of little quips and bits of foreshadowing that you can appreciate in the second, third, or 500th viewing, some less subtle than others. Nevertheless, from the moment the events start rolling, The Matrix has you, taking you for a roller coaster ride of spectacle, subterfuge, and satisfaction. At the end of the day, it's not at all hard to see why The Matrix had such an impact. It stood the test of time as a more modern yet somehow sci-fi twist on the classic chosen hero of destiny story, with great acting, impossible action, and style, coming in at 5 exploding agents out of 5. Well, like I said, the sequels are a bit more confusing. That's a topic for another video. Thank you all for watching. I'm Shado. And remember, follow the white rabbit.
And I want to be rich. You know, someone important. Like an actor.